All right, so here we go, part 23 of our Every Man's Battle study. And in this part, we're going to dig into what is called just by being male. All right, that's the chapter we're in, just by being male. And like I say, follow, all of this stuff, but repost. Hit that little repost right down there. It's very simple. It takes about 2 seconds. Just hit repost. That's it. You don't have to go through any steps after that. Just do it. Just by being male. Even apart from our stopping short of God's standards, we find another reason for the prevalence of sexual sin among men. We've got there naturally simply by being male. That's all it takes. I heard a sermon one time that really stayed with me, and I truly believe it. We give the devil way too much credit for way too many things. The reality is, flesh without God is able to sin. Flesh without God is able to do plenty of wrong on our own. We got there just by being male. So from Fred, our very maleness. Before I even knew that my wife Brenda was pregnant with our fourth child, I became convinced through prayer that our future child would be a boy and our second son. I was so convinced of this that during Brenda's pregnancy, I told this to her and to a few close friends. As delivery day neared, the pressure rose. Why did I tell everyone? I whined, what if it's a girl? What if I'm wrong? With the start of Brenda's labor pains, the pressure on me seemed to double every minute. Finally, standing under the bright lights of the delivery room and watching a little head crowning toward birth, I knew that the moment of truth was near. The baby came out face up. Good, I thought, I'll have a perfect view. Anxious, I gently urged Brenda, come on, sweetheart, push a little more. The shoulders emerged. Just a few more inches, I thought. And then, what are you doing, doctor? He turned the baby toward himself at the last moment. Just as the hips and legs popped out, now I could only see the baby's back. Come on, I cried inside. The doctor and nurse maddeningly said nothing. Methodically and efficiently, they dried the baby, suctioned the throat, slapped the little cap on the newborn. When the doctor finally presented our new child to me, the legs were flopping apart. Immediately looking down, I just had to know. It's a boy, I exclaimed. Michael is now 8 years old, and his brother Jason is 16, and I can assure you that they are definitely both males. As I raised them, I'm aware of the natural tendencies inherent in maleness that will touch every aspect of sexual purity for them, just as they do for me. Our very maleness, and for male tendencies in particular, represents the third reason for the pervasiveness of sexual impurity among men. Males are rebellious by nature. When Paul explained to Timothy that Adam was not the one deceived, it was the woman who was deceived and became a sinner in 1 Timothy 2, verse 14, he was nothing that Adam wasn't being tricked when he ate of the forbidden fruit in the Garden of Eden. Adam knew it was wrong, but he ate it anyway. In the millennia since then, all of Adam's sons tend to be just as rebellious. Author George Gilder in Sexual Suicide reported that men commit more than 90% of major crimes of violence, 100% of the rapes, and 95% of the burglaries. Men comprise 94% of our drunken drivers, 70% of suicides, 91% of offenders against family and children. Most often, the chief perpetrators are single men. And through our research and our study, I've concluded that 96% of men are looking at pornography. Still 63% of women, but up to 96% of men actively looking at pornography. Our maleness brings a natural, Our maleness brings a natural, uniquely male form of rebelliousness. This natural tendency gives us the arrogance needed to stop short of God's standards. As men, we'll often choose sin simply because we like our own way. Very simple. We like our own way. And that's why we do it a lot of the time. Males find the straight life dull and boring. And I don't mean the straight life as in, straight or gay or straight or homosexual. I don't mean like that. I mean the straight life as in just not being adventurous, being just, boring per se, Men find it boring. The straight life, dull and boring. Dr. James Dobson summed up the whole straight life well in his book, Straight Talk to Men and Their Wives. The straight life for a working man is pulling your tired frame out of bed 5 days a week, 50 weeks out of the year. It is earning a 2-week vacation in August and choosing a trip that will please the kids. The straight life is spending your money wisely when you'd rather indulge in a new whatever. It is taking your son bike riding on Saturday when you want so badly just to watch the baseball game. It's cleaning out the garage on your day off after working 60 hours the prior week. The straight life is coping with the head colds and the engine tune-ups and the crabgrass and the income tax forms. It is taking your family to church on Sunday when you've heard every idea that the minister has to offer. It's giving a portion of your income to God's work when you already wonder how ends will meet. To all of this, most men's gut level response is, "Get me out of here." While our natural rebelliousness provides the arrogance necessary to stop short of God's standards, our natural dislike of the straight life gives us the desire to stop short. And instead to experience the temporary pleasures of our sin. Our mixed standards provide a relief from our dulling responsibilities. In the next section, males have a strong, regular sex drive. In What Wives Wish Their Husbands Knew About Women, Dr. Dobson writes, when a sexual response is blocked, males experience an accumulating physiological pressure which demands release. 2 seminal vesicles, small sacs containing semen, gradually fill to capacity as the maximum level is reached. Hormonal influence sensitizes the man to all sexual stimuli. For most men, this buildup is heightened sexual desire. It takes only about 72 hours. Many women, Dr. Dobson notes, stand in amazement at how regularly their husbands desire sexual intercourse. He tells a story about a young couple on a water ski trip. The husband, a neophyte on skis, thrashed about the bay watching for watch of the afternoon as he struggled to stand. Gamely, he tried and tried again, but he spent more time in the water than on it. The effort was obviously exhausting. Our sunburned hero. Meanwhile, his wife turned to a friend and said, "Would you believe he'll still want it when we get home tonight?" This pressure men experience does not justify seeking release through pornography or masturbation. The body has built-in mechanisms of release, including nocturnal emissions and overflow into the urine. And in fact, I've talked with many single men who consistently keeping their eyes and their minds pure of sensual things, haven't had sex or masturbated for years. The pressure dries up, they say. Still, it's important for all men to realize how the cycle of pressure can escalate our sensitivity to temptation. Now, these things aside, understand that it's going to happen. There is a 3-day cycle that takes place, and we're going to study more into that here in the next coming videos. And I want to make sure that as we get there, that you're all able to see and understand what all that means, because it's not understood by a lot of people. It's very quickly misunderstood by a lot of people, and it's seen as perversion. And the reality is, it's not.